I also wanted to show you another way to access the Reality Composer if you don't have Xcode or the instructions were a little complicated. You can actually just go to the App Store and type in Reality Composer, and there is an app that was built by Apple that allows you to do basically the same thing that we did in Xcode, but just with your phone. And so to create a new file in the top right, just tap the plus sign. We got a new project up. And we can choose whether we want a horizontal, like if we want it to detect a flat surface like a floor, or if we want to do a vertical one, like if you wanted to detect like a wall poster or something like that, or a certain image. There are lots of different ways that you can create an anchor for it to find. So I'm going to go do horizontal because that's probably the easiest. You'll see this looks uh, a lot like the Xcode example, and we just press select to edit. You can move this item around. Let's grab the object and move it back and forth, make it larger, smaller. You don't get as many options here, and it's a little bit harder to do it right from your phone, but it's all right here. So if you want to add something, just press the plus sign, search for some kind of item and drag it around. You can move it around within this world. Back, forth, up, and down. You can do almost everything that you can do in the Xcode Reality Composer version, and basically create any kind of item you want or import anything that you want. You can also click up in the top right and click on behaviors, and you can add those behaviors there as well as do all kinds of other things here in the More tab. When you click the transform, the little settings tab, that's where you're going to get all of your extra features for changing the width and the height and things like that. So it's basically your inspector tool, and you can change the scale, the physics, and all that is going to be up here in the top next to the AR button. When you're ready to experiment with it, you're going to you could play it with the play button, but I'm going to press the AR button, and that's going to allow me to actually test this thing out. So I'm going to move this around. Oh, and there it is. Okay, so it's on my desk. But basically, it's creating the augmented reality app right within the Reality Composer app itself. Once you're done with that, you can go ahead and export it if you needed to. You could export it into a project that you can later import into Xcode. And but really, that's really all you'd need to do is just create it on the Reality Composer app itself, and then screen record the practice of you using it. You don't need a developer account or anything like that. Now, the only downside is that you couldn't put it in the App Store, and you couldn't actually let it deploy to your phone itself. It's still going to be living in this Reality Composer app. So it won't be an actual app on your device. It will just be used in the Reality Composer app itself. So that's one, I guess, potential negative. But anyway, though that could definitely be one way that you use the Reality Composer without having to download Xcode.